Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're continuing our series in the brand new Player's Handbook, talking about the subclasses we find within. And we're continuing on with the Warlock. Warlock subclasses have received quite a bit of change in the 2024 Player's Handbook. They have genuinely been buffed in a lot of good ways. The Warlock was already a powerful class, and the subclasses got a much-needed boost. Today we're talking about the only new subclass in the Player's Handbook. This one was actually in one of the other expansions of D&D 5e, and it has now been moved to the Player's Handbook as a counter to one of the other ones. We are talking about the Celestial Patron. Not all warlocks have to sell their soul to the devil or to Cthulhu. You could, in fact, make a pact with a god of Mount Celestial or an angel or something like that. It is very, very interesting to see this as a twist on the classic Faustian bargain. But how does this subclass benefit the Warlock, and how has it been boosted in the brand new Player's Handbook? We'll get into the details in just a moment. Before we do, though, I'd like to let you know, Relaxed Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know you're a supporter. Also, you get early access to my videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I upload them a day early for members only. And finally, if you're a member, you get VIP access in my community Discord. Relaxed Fantasy Review's Discord server is open to anyone who wants to join. You can find links in the channel description, but if you're a member of the channel, you automatically become a VIP. And in the VIP room, you can talk directly to me about D&D, YouTube, whatever you like. If any of that sounds interesting to you, you can click the join button. It's just down there next to the subscribe button. And if it doesn't interest you, that's fine too. Just watching the video, liking, subscribing to the channel, all these things that cost nothing is a wonderful way to support me. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. So unlike in 2014, Warlocks get their subclass at level 3, like everyone else. So we're going to start off at level 3 with an expanded spell list, Celestial spells. Unlike old Warlock subclasses, these are automatically prepared for you and don't count against your spells known. The old Warlock subclasses just gave you a list of spells you could choose when you chose your Warlock spells, which was a little bit odd. Now you just get a bunch for free. And boy, do you get a bunch. You actually get 2 free cantrips from this list, Light and Sacred Flame. Not bad. I mean, Light's a decent utility cantrip, and Sacred Flame is fine. I'm not, you're probably using Eldritch Blast, but Sacred Flame works. You also get some of the Cleric's best hits: Cure Wounds, Aid, Lesser and Greater Restoration, Guiding Bolt, Revivify, Wall of Fire, even Summon Celestial. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Cure Wounds and Guiding Bolt are interesting picks. Cure Wounds, because it's a little redundant compared to a feature we're going to talk about in a second. Guiding Bolts, because that is a very odd use of a Warlock spell slot. Warlock spell slots are very precious, and using one on Guiding Bolt, it sounds fine if you're a cleric, but as a Warlock, that's a bit of an iffy thing. And the restoration spells are good when you need them, so they're nice to have, but you're not going to cast them every day. And honestly, yeah, I'm going to give this list 7 out of 10. It's not bad. Like, nothing in here is awful. I just don't know, like, there's a few in here that make me kind of raise my eyebrows. Like, I'm not sure I would cast this with my Warlock. There's some I would, for sure. Some that I probably wouldn't. The other thing you get at level 3 is Healing Light. And this is why I said it was weird that Cure Wounds was on the list. Because this gives you a pool of D6s equal to 1 plus your Warlock level. So at this level you have 4, and you'll gain another one every time you level up as a Warlock. As a bonus action, you can choose a creature, can be yourself or an ally within 60 feet of you, and you use, a number of the D6s, as many as your Charisma modifier. So at this level that would probably be 3, and at higher levels it would be 5 at a time. When you do this, you roll the d6s and you heal a creature for that much. It very much resembles Healing Word as a bonus action at range heal, but it isn't a spell. And these dice come back on a long rest, so you can't do this every time you short rest. But honestly, I would be using these to pop people back up when they fall unconscious. Like, you know, as much as Healing Word does, this is going to heal for a d6. It's a little less than Healing Word, but you can also throw a 2 or 3 d6 at them if you really want to. And yeah, it just turns you into a great triage healer. And if you're about to take a long rest, you know, cool. I guess you didn't need the dice. But yeah, I think that this is a 10 out of 10 power. It's nice that the Warlock has a healing option that doesn't use their pact magic. And I guess if you really wanted to use Cure Wounds, you know, with your pact magic slot, you could do so like before a short rest, because you're going to get that back anyway. But yeah, Healing Light is just what I'd be using most of the time. Anyway, moving on to level 6, you get the Radiant Soul Power. This grants you resistance to radiant damage, a rare damage type, so probably won't come up super often. However, once per turn, when you cast a spell that deals radiant or fire damage, you can add your Charisma modifier to the spell's damage against one of the targets. This is nice for, you know, using Sacred Flame. It's weird because you can also add your Charisma modifier using the Invocation Agonizing Blast, which has actually been tweaked now, so it doesn't have to be on Eldritch Blast. It's any cantrip. So theoretically, if you took the Invocation Agonizing Blast and put it on Sacred Flame, or Firebolt, I suppose, if you took that instead, and then this feature comes online, you're now adding twice your Charisma modifier. And to a cantrip, that's really good, actually. I think that might be worth building around instead of building around Eldritch Blast. With that being said, I think that this is a good feature, a rare damage resistance, and some damage bump to your spells. I'll call this 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Next up, Celestial Resilience. This says that you gain temp HP whenever you either use your Magical Cunning feature, that is a ritual that lets you get back some of your spell slots, or when you finish short or long rest. So you can do this basically a few times a day. This temp HP you get back is equal to your level plus your Charisma modifier. So at this level, level 10, that is more than likely 15 temp HP that you just get when you do Magical Cunning or take a short rest, or when you take a long rest. And what's interesting is you can additionally choose extra creatures, up to 5 more, but that probably will include your whole party. They gain temp HP equal to half your level plus your Charisma modifier. At this level, that's likely 10. So if you have a party of 4 people, you and 3 others, which is pretty typical in D&D, you are giving yourself 15 temp HP, and you're giving 3 allies 10 temp HP each. That's 45 temporary hit points you got just from doing your Magical Cunning ritual or taking a short rest or at the beginning of the adventuring day. That's really good. There are feats out there like Inspiring Leader or spells like False Life that don't give this much, and this is just free. You get it when you get some spell slots back or when you take a rest. That's sizable. That is a chunk. Even at level 10, that's really good. And it isn't limited, like, you know, sometimes per long rest. No, it's every time you use these features. So you're likely going to get 2 or 3 bouts of these temp HP. Beginning of the day when you finish a long rest, once if you get a short rest, and once as you use your Magical Cunning. What is that, 135 temp HP you have given your party throughout the day? That's incredible value. And I give this 10 out of 10 for sure. And it continues to scale as you level up, because it's your Warlock level. By the end game, you're giving yourself 25 temp HP. Each time you do this, your allies are getting like 17 or so. It's really good. Finally, at level 14, you get the Searing Vengeance power. When you or an ally within 60 feet of you are about to make a death save, you can unleash radiant energy to save the creature. They get half of their hit points back, and they end the prone condition automatically. So I imagine someone's on their back or on their stomach, unconscious, bleeding out, and then you snap your fingers and they just burst to their feet again, like a rocket, get half their hit points back. Also, all creatures of your choice within 30 feet of that burst take radiant damage equal to 2d8 plus your charisma modifier, and are blinded until the end of the current turn. So, yeah. Obviously, this is great on yourself. Like, this is a cool thing. And, you know, I think that it's very valid that you can do this. But doing it to your allies is just as valuable, especially if you're the healer. Your healing light power gives you that ability. You've got your temp HP. And now this. I mean, you have Revivify anyway, but I think that this is a really cool style points power that also does some damage, blinds enemies, and saves an ally from dying. I think this is probably 9 out of 10. Like, with Healing Lights and Revivify in your spell list, it's a little redundant, and the damage isn't amazing, but it's just good. It's really, really fun, and is a powerful ability, if not a little undercooked in the late game, but I'm certainly going to use it most of the days. If anyone goes unconscious, I'm going to use this. So yeah, I'm going to say 9 out of 10. Overall, I give the Celestial Patron a 9 out of 10. Not a whole lot of damage here. Like, you get that little bit of extra damage when you do radiant or fire damage, but everything else feels very much like healing based. Your bonus action heal, your temporary hit points, the get out of jail free card when someone's unconscious, cure wounds, lesser restoration, greater restoration, revivify. Like, yeah, you can do extra radiant damage, and Wall of Force and Summon Celestial are nothing to scoff at. But this definitely is more a support Warlock than a blaster Warlock. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Every party needs a support character, and the fact that you will be utilizing most of these powers without using your spell slot, so you can still Warlock just like normal, but you can also be a great support. So I think this is a 9 out of 10 subclass. It's very solid, it's very direct on what it wants to do, but it doesn't ask you for much. It doesn't, like, demand that you don't Warlock if you want to do a little bit of healing and support. So, yeah, just a flat upgrade, and I call this 9 out of 10 for sure. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.